tell us how you think about the portal when you see a player enter or whatever.
Really anymore, I genuinely don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is because when I say, like, I don't care, like, bye, good luck, so long, okay, people are like, oh, wait, you're mad? I'm like, no, like, I'm really not. Like, maybe because I don't care, that comes off that way. Mm-hmm. Or obviously when you're reading text, it might come up, but I don't care anymore because there's nothing I, as a fan, can do about it. Mm-hmm. And that's just kind of how it is. It's a revolving door now. And so I kind of find myself just not getting, like, super, I say, attached to players. Not that I never knew them personally, but it's not, I'm not trying to really get to know anything about them anymore or, follow them on them. Right. I'm not trying to buy any extra merch. Like, because one, I don't want to buy something and then a year later it no longer works anymore. I already learned my lesson with Mackenzie Donahue. Bought a shirt. A year later, she's gone. So I was like, I'm just not.
See you.
I don't know. I don't care. And also because I don't know the reasons why guys are leaving.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to get more, I can't blame people for wanting to go get more playing time.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, like, I get it.
Yeah.
If it's, personal reasons, what if a family member is sick and you got to go back closer to home, whatever it is, it might be, like, I don't know. So I don't care as much. And even anymore, like, even if it's an obvious tampering situation, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing anybody can do about it. So why am I going to try to put extra effort into it? Like, it's just more so like, okay, bye, I guess.
Right. Well,
Like, good luck on your next adventure. I hope if you play OU, like, you don't do well against us. But other than that, go do your thing.
Fun fact, Ruth Bader Ginsburg went to Harvard Law, then had to transfer her last year or third year to Columbia because I believe it was her husband or one of her family members got cancer, so that they had to get treated.
Right, exactly.
So there are obviously situations
horrible,
where transfer.
I hope that
fun fact for the day
doesn't
for
happen to anybody, but it does happen.
I just for me, well, my bad. Were you done? Keep going.
Yeah,
I heard you about to say something else.
No, it's more so like I just genuinely don't care or want to put effort into it anymore. It's kind of how I feel about recruiting too, like because even when they sign on the dotted line, again, a year from now they could be gone. So it's like I'll just cheer for whoever suits up and plays in the fall, and I hope I see you next year. And if I don't, then I guess I'll just root for the next guy that fills your spot.
I do wonder how that is going to affect the recruiting sites. I mean, what benefit is it to know who we're signing or who's in what if they can just leave after a year? And
I've seen many, many tweets that have said, like, there's really no point in even following recruiting anymore. I'm like, you're right.
By the way, just turning back to the David Stone thing real quick, because I saw people, and I think we'd even talked about this too. I understand where people say, hey, you're an adult. If your family is spending your money, you got to tell them to stop. And to some point, I 100% agree with that to an extent. But it's also like I could tell a distant uncle, hey, I'm not giving you anything. But like, first off, he's a kid. He's not, I know they're making money, but like, dude, all of us, imagine you're telling the people you're going to go to home in the summer with, you go to see it at Christmas, you go to see it at Thanksgiving, to just screw off. I mean, you're not going to be, it's easy to say when it's not your money. So I'm just saying that to like show people grace every now and then, like to the fans. I get that people want to, be a man, be an adult. He's just, first off, this is new to him. It's new to everybody really, but there is a reality where your parents are your parents. It's hard to just tell your parents no. And
to me, I'm not even ashamed of him. Like intrinsic, like in a way, like I'm proud of him that he feels like he has to bear that responsibility. To me, it's more shame on the adults because that's not your child's responsibility. And especially because, again, I've already mentioned football could be gone tomorrow. Heaven forbid something happened to any of these players. And football's gone, your NIL's gone. Right. Now you have no money in your savings that could have set you up better. Your scholarship could potentially be gone. Now you have to figure out how to pay for this education. Like, just things like that people just don't think about. And it's more shame on the adults, in my opinion, or shame on anybody that thinks they're owed something because you made a lot of money.
Absolutely, yeah.
For what, like, and anyways.
Yeah,
I
agree.
That topic. But what are your thoughts on...
I at some point I'm indifferent. People get mad about the money part of it. I think the reality is, like I said, just get used to it. If players want to enter the portal, see if they can make more money somewhere and want to come back. At some point, and I mean, it's hard for me to not get in my NCAA stuff. I'm going to wait. But at some point, until Congress acts and there's actual regulation and legislation regarding the NIL, there's nothing you can do about it. And everyone can sit here and cry and complain about, oh, players get in, they don't have loyalty. No, they don't. They want a lot of money. So either Oklahoma fans, we can all be like, oh, we can clutch pearls and be all higher than thou and say, we're not going to be, we're not doing this game. Okay, well, then we're going to go, 5-8 every year, get waxed, and then everyone's going to want everyone fired again. And why can't OU win? It's because we have to be able to play the game. And right now the game is what it is. Why I like Nagy is because we knew the two guys before they even got the portal were coming to OU. We just did. And so say you like it, say you don't, I don't really care. I know that we have two good players coming to OU now that we didn't have before the portal opened. And there is no reason why we should be sitting here trying to say it should be this way. It should be a lot of different ways. We shouldn't be. And again, the NCAA has tried to not allow tampering before the portal opens, before they enter the portal. We'll get into that story. The NCAA has tried to regulate. They can't. And so until Congress acts, or until the Supreme Court says, you know what, we're going to allow some sort of monopoly, there's nothing we can do. We have to just you play the game by the rules, and right now there's not many of them.
No, and that's 100% right, because there is nothing that we as fans can do. I mean, yes, we can
give money.
We can give money
and show up to games.
But at some point, I hate saying it, but why do I want to give my money working 40, 50 hours a week where I make a lot less working, with people to someone who's playing a sport with no expenses, making way more than me? Why do I want to give my dollar to that? That's kind of where I'm at too. Now, we pay for our season tickets. We make, different, we do make the different donations, but I haven't told Chad, I'm starting to almost get into the point where I don't even want my season tickets. And I don't want to keep paying into this, because we want the players that love the school as much as we do, type thing, and that's just, it's just so different now. I'm never going to give up my season tickets, and that's never going to happen. But it's there are times when I think about this is just not.
So let's go through.
This is just not what it is.
Let's go through
some of y'all's comments.
Some of these comments. Lane says there needs to be more incentive-based NIL deals. Go earn it. I agree. 100%.
But if Alabama's not doing that and Oklahoma is, congrats, you just lost a recruit, because they can get their money without having to earn it.
Yep. The portal is brutal. There needs to be contracts in place to keep players from getting tampered with. You want a player, then he has a buyout option. Sure. I mean,
it's going to have to be
a lot of this requires
government.
A lot of this requires also either you unionize or you make a players association. There's other aspects of that, but I'm all for players being able to have some sort of, and honestly, and I'll say it, coaches have a bad rap right now. The portal's completely unfair to coaches. Coaches don't have as much freedom as players have. I get so sick of people thinking it's a big brain take to say, well, coaches get to move around if they want. Yeah, they also get fired if they don't perform. And I can think about 6 receivers last year that should have got fired because they didn't even play. So don't get me. I'm so sick of kids getting babied and coaches getting no. And this is why T had to stop me earlier, because I get fired up. It's gross to me how there's all this. Well, coaches can do whatever. No, they can't. First off, no, they can't. They literally can't. They're signed to contracts. So I don't say that anymore, because that's not a good take. And second of all, they have to perform. If BV doesn't have a good year this year, he's likely not going to be our coach after that, and we'll pay the buyout. It is what it is.
Right. And should a player who just got a raise only do 60 snaps next year, guess what? They don't get fired for it.
Yeah.
Or heaven forbid they get a pay cut.
Yeah.
Then they're just going to hit the portal. Oh, we agree. Going from not having money to having money and being a young person would be a challenge. Absolutely.
Well, here's the thing.
And to me, that's part of the reason why you're seeing a lot of these kids in their fast cars getting in wrecks, killing them other people.
But here's the thing.
Wrecks, getting, there's a lot of other factors that go into it too. They're able to afford things.
It's not even going from not having money. It's going from being middle class to going from where you can help your family, your extended family, and all your friends get whatever they want for a little bit of time. And you're telling me your friend comes to you and says, dude, I know my car is broken down. I just need $6,000 to get this fixed, and I can just get a good car. Mm-hmm. And you're going to tell me you just got a $900,000 check, and you're going to say, screw. No, you're not. It's so easy. I think what social media just makes me, I just don't care about it that much, but also bothers me is because people act so tough People are
yes.
always, I would tell my family no. If I had a chance, if they asked me for money, no, you wouldn't. No, you don't tell the Girl Scout cookie girls no when you walk into Dollar General.
I
You ain't
avoid
telling
them
your
entirely.
You don't tell.
Because I can't tell them no.
And you're gonna. It's so unrealistic sometimes what we expect players to do with their own family, who they can finally help. Not saying they shouldn't, and like you're saying, it's more on the adults really. Don't put your kid in a position if you are. Don't do that. But
have some shame.
It's just. I hope that we start realizing NIL has more extended consequences than just, hey, we're giving players money. Cool. There's all other factors that go into that. But Lane said the fact that neither. All right. Well, I shouldn't have said. I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying the timing was really quick. And by the way, I don't care.
But you have to remember, Jim Nagy has been following recruiting. He's been following patterns. He's been following kids for the Senior Bowl for years.
Also, tamper.
Chad's very pro. Do what everybody else is doing.
You don't fight by Marcus Queensberry rules when the other side doesn't. You don't sit there and play by rules that your other side isn't going to abide by. You don't sit there and say, we'll start the race when the gun goes off, and they just start, and you get a run 3 seconds later when the gun goes off and be like, well, we played the right way, and they're on the podium getting the gold medal.
I know.
In what world does that make sense? Not saying Lane, this isn't at you. I'm just saying, in general, you think Georgia, you think Alabama, you think the top teams aren't tampering? I know for a fact we had almost lost 3 guys that we had to pay a lot of money to keep, and they were offered while the season was still going.
By Ohio State, correct?
By Ohio State. A lot of over millions. And so, say it was for the hypothetical, as we say, assuming arguendo. Say it was. Okay, at least Oklahoma's finally playing on the same footing. At some point, we have to there's a reality check of we can sit here and try to cross all the T's, dot all the I's, and do everything by the book. And to an extent, yes, you should. I'm not saying you want to just, be the worst thing ever. Mm-hmm. But there's also play to win a little bit. And sometimes you can't just be all good. You have to have a little bit of an ability to do things that are a little bit in the gray.